So, I finally have my answer to what do the different colors of the lightsabers mean? Sort of. So, this article from comicbook.com goes through the history of the lightsaber. So, I'm going to only highlight the parts that I think are relevant. So, anyway, let's see, where does it start? So, a lightsaber's color comes from the kyber crystal within the hilt. Okay, that part I knew. The lightsaber's blade takes on the color of the crystal within. A blue kyber crystal emits a blue blade, and a red crystal results in the lightsaber having the signature crimson hue of a Sith weapon. Let's see. And this then goes on to talk about how this is mostly from the expanded universe, that George Lucas did have an idea for kyber crystal, but it was more of like the One Ring from Lord of the Rings. So it wasn't really that. Let's see. And then they go into when lightsaber crystals and kyber crystals came into being in Star Wars lore. So, what do the colors mean? Star Wars canon includes many lightsaber colors, but like kyber crystals, these were not Lucas's idea. Lucas only envisioned two lightsaber colors, blue for Jedi and red for Sith. The first variation was a practical solution to a filmmaking problem. Luke had a green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi because the blue blade wasn't showing up against the blue sky during the fight on Jabba's barge. That would have been it if not for Samuel L. Jackson requesting a purple lightsaber for Mace Windu in the prequel trilogy. And Lucas acquiesced to Jackson's request. I'm sure that was more of a, this is Samuel L. Jackson. Give him what he wants. He wants a purple lightsaber. He gets a purple lightsaber. In Star Wars canon as it exists today, there aren't broad definitions for what lightsaber colors mean outside of a few exceptions, which I believe a commenter mentioned that when I asked it on, I think, Reddit. Kyber crystals are colorless until they bond with a Jedi. The color of the kyber crystal reflects the Jedi's specific connection with the Force and their place in the Jedi Order. Green generally represents a Jedi with a serene connection to the Force and who is typically wise, like Yoda or Qui-Gon Jinn. Blue denotes a Jedi who is a fighter, actively pursuing justice through the Force, like Obi-Wan or Anakin. Mace Windu's purple lightsaber is a rare representing a balance between the other two. The Darksaber created during the Old Republic era is another unique lightsaber with a black blade that reacts physically to the wielder's emotions. So through this, I'm thinking that maybe Grogu will end up with a purple lightsaber because he's training to be a Mandalorian, so he's going to be a fighter. But considering how strong he is in the Force, I could see that he could have also had a green lightsaber. So, green or blue. So maybe he would also have a purple one like Mace. So, once bonded to a Jedi, the kyber crystal does not change color as the lightsaber comes into the possession of a new owner. Like Anakin's lightsaber remains blue even though Luke's lightsaber would eventually have a green blade. Which makes sense, I guess, because my understanding of lightsabers is like the wands of Harry Potter, that there's a symbiotic relationship, and if you try to use somebody else's wand, it doesn't necessarily go that well. So you can technically use someone else's lightsaber, like a non-Force user can use a lightsaber, but it's not going to be able to do all the cool things that it would if it had that personal connection. Let's see. However, the crystals can be tampered with to produce a different color than their original bonded color. Like Anakin does this to Ahsoka's lightsaber turning their green blades blue, matching his ahead of the siege of Mandalore. Interestingly, the Jedi of the High Republic have much more variations in lightsaber colors compared to the almost entirely blue and green blades of those in the Fall of the Jedi era. The more varied colors may be due to the more individualized way those High Republic Jedi experience their connection to the Force. For example, one hears the Force as music, while a different Jedi sees the Force as a vast ocean. If one looks for thematic cohesion, one could see the homogeneity in both lightsaber colors and explanation of the Force as a symptom of the Jedi Order's calcification leading to their destruction as part of Darth Sidious's grand plan for the galaxy. Alright, so let's get to the other colors. Some lightsabers do have specific meanings and origins in the Star Wars universe. The most prolific are the uniformly red lightsabers of the Sith. The red blade comes from a kyber crystal that has been bled. Sith apprentices have to corrupt a kyber crystal to the dark side of the Force, as the dark side had corrupted them. To do so, they would bleed the crystal, using the dark side to fill the kyber crystal with their rage and hate until it turned that unnatural red color. Ahsoka Tano wields white lightsaber blades following her expulsion from the Jedi Order. Her white blades come from previously bled lightsaber crystals she purified after taking them from an Inquisitor who found and attacked her while hiding after Order 66. Yellow blades were wielded exclusively by the Jedi Temple Guard before the reign of the Empire. Rey's lightsaber is the same color, perhaps symbolizing her as the new guardian of the Jedi teachings. Orange lightsabers also exist in Star Wars canon. We don't know much about what they may symbolize, but we do know that the villains in Ahsoka's wield similar blades. Writer Dave Filoni has teased that the unusual color has a specific meaning, which I was watching a video, and Emergency Awesome's video, and he said that they're dark Jedi, so they're not completely pushed to the dark side, and that's why they don't have a red lightsaber, because the orange signifies that they have some light still in them. They're not completely dark. So, hence the orange as opposed to the red. Let's see. What else does this article have to say about colors? So, in the Old Republic game, the colors were based on character classes. Blue belonged to Jedi Guardians. Green belonged to Jedi Counselors. And yellow went to Jedi Sentinels. And that was supposed to be a balance between the blue and the green. But even within the Legends expanded universe, these rules fell out of practice in later years. The Sith and Dark Jedi still wielded primarily red lightsabers. So, if the explanation I heard from Emergency Awesome is true, they're slightly changing canon again. And making the orange lightsabers for Dark Jedi because they still have some light in them. They're not completely Sith. If, again, what I heard is true. So, this was interesting to me. I hope it was interesting to you, because I've mentioned many times I'm a casual Star Wars viewer, so I had no idea what any of these colors meant. And so with that, I don't know if I'm going to put out a video for Star Wars Day. I hope I will. But with that, I will see you in the next video.